Mission Arlington is this organization that was founded about 30 years ago by this woman, Tilly Bergen, and her parents were missionaries, and she came back to the States and she just wondered, why can't we do that here? So she founded Mission Arlington, and since then they have free thrift stores, they have a food pantry, they go out and do mission work in their community, and the whole community just knows that Mission Arlington is where you go to find aid, to get help, to find help from Christian people who love God and love Jesus, and because of that love their neighbor. When you go to Mission Arlington, what you could be doing any number of things. You could be handing out flyers for a revival, you could be running Rainbow Express, which is like a VBS, you could be doing any number of ministry opportunities, handing out bread, working at a food pantry. It just depends on the week.
For me, one of the things that kind of stuck out was we came in during the back to school week, and so we were helping organize bags for them to give out to kids later on in the week. And we kind of were known for like being very OCD about things. We like to have organization. And so it was just really awesome to be able to use skills that God has obviously given us to be organized, and to just be able to, we actually were able to fulfill all the bags that they needed us to fulfill in the little time that we were there.
That's awesome.
And that was pretty cool for me.
My favorite moment was kind of seeing all the little kids. Like on the first couple of days, they'd be kind of shy, reserved. Then after a while, you see them on the second day, they'd be like, oh my goodness, hi, how are you? And then just how they were so open to hearing God's word. They were like committed to it. And I also loved the little praise and worship thing we had with them, with the puppets and the stories and all that. And it was super cool getting to see how they grew over that short week and how they pursued a relationship with God.
My favorite thing was when we did worship with my family, and we were just with a bunch of people ready to do one thing, just to serve the city. And it was just cool to be around with everybody with the same purpose.
So one thing that's really cool is y'all got to go with your family. So tell me what that was like.
So for me, it was really cool getting to, the first year was just me, my mom, and my stepdad, and we were all just together. And it was cool. It was cool getting to see how we can just grow closer together, because we'd see all the other families, and it'd be like we'd be more welcoming. So it'd be like, oh yeah, oh hey you guys, how are you? Like it's just like a random family joining, and then seeing a good person.
Are you talking about Mission Arlington?
Yeah. So how was Mission Arlington for you?
Well, I gotta say, I overheard y'all talking about family, and one of the things I definitely remember about Mission Arlington was it was the first real mission trip, real as in being out of the territory where we're living. And I remember it was a great experience, and I remember we said that when we were riding on the van to go over there. We were just like, hey, this is our first mission trip together, because my dad's been to other places like Africa and Cuba, and he always talked about it being awesome and sharing the gospel, and I was like, I want to do that. And I remember it was fun doing it with my parents and my brother and sister.
As far as family, for me it was very humbling to see that we went from the three adults that went, which was Kim, Sis, Victoria, and myself, and it was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to, and Brooke, of course, we're gonna have to organize this, and we were kind of running short with the Rainbow Express of well, who's gonna do what, and then it was just to see God work in my kids, and that they were willing and they were wanting to be my two younger kids were, Javi and Anessa were like, well, we'll take care of the worship part, and I was like, be still my heart. And then to where it was known to us that we could use puppets, and then they're like, well, we want to do the puppets too for the story time whenever somebody else takes over. And it was just seeing God working through them in something so simple as they were coming with me, because this is the great thing that we can do this together. But then they wanted to take part, and so to me it was like, wow, it went from the adults were going to lead to the kids were leading, which ended up, opening up the kids that we were speaking to and they were actually sitting down and listening to the story, and actually were able to relate because a lot of the kids were about my younger kids' age, so it was kind of like a gift in disguise, you know, to have my family there, and so that we could still be able to share God's truth.
Just like God can use all of our families, He can use you. Our next Arlington trip will be December 19th through 23rd. For more information, you can contact me. My number should be on the screen. We would love to have you. God bless.